Hey guys, how are you? It is John C Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL. I'm grateful to be with you guys again. It is March 6th. This is March 5th show. It's been a little crazy. Just almost caught up with everything, as you guys know, with the Flow Follies play and kind of getting back on track with stuff. So probably this weekend I'll totally catch up with everything, but about maybe 75% caught up. So happy with that. Thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Our topic, I'll give you in a second, which is the topic we come up on Saturday, and we roll through the week, and we finish up on a Friday, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much for being here, whether you're here at 12 a.m., 12 noon, 1 a.m., 1 p.m., or 6 a.m., 6 p.m. It doesn't matter what time you're here. I'm just so grateful that you are here. So our master topic for the week, everyone, is this, and that is how to live a life with passion. We are on series 3. In case you guys didn't know, we're on show 10. And if you want to know about the granular topic for tonight, well, I'm going to be sharing that with you in just a minute. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned here for a second because we got lots to talk about. We're talking about passion. Passion is your life, ladies and gentlemen. And when you're passionate, you can do so many great things. So one thing I want to share with you guys, first of all, my hat, believemeachieve.com. In case you guys didn't see that, that's believemeachieve.com. And so really, really great there. So the granular topic for tonight is Passion Pulse. Ignite your life. We're on series 3, a third year. That's show 10, episode number 4. So the first thing about a Passion Pulse is childhood memories. So we want to remember those moments that maybe lit up our souls as a child, and understand that when we tap into these memories, they can actually steer us toward our true passion in life. Maybe when you were younger, you liked to play building things. That might be a key that you maybe want to be some type of a builder, engineer, etc. I know when I was younger, I loved to take apart radio control cars, FAO. Time it was FAO Schwartz was what we had, the FAO Schwartz radio cars. And I remember getting my first one and what it was like, and it was kind of cool. I have to tell you, it was really cool getting this car and being able to do all kinds of neat stuff with it. I think it was just really cool. But the thing that was really interesting is that when I decided to take one apart, I think my parents almost had a heart attack when I did that. Remote control cars for kids, and these RC cars feature lights, sounds, and virtual reality smartphone viewers. So they've really kind of changed from where they've been. I mean, they weren't that high tech a long time ago, but now they are. They're a lot more high tech, and they are, when I tell you pretty cool, they are really pretty cool. So you can get like a Hot Wheels Barbie movie remote control Corvette car for $60. I'm just going to actually share my screen here just a second, ladies and gentlemen, so you guys can get a quick understanding of what I'm talking about, because I think this is pretty cool. I'm going to share one of my windows here. You guys can see it here on the screen. And so you can see exactly what this is. You can see there's the remote control engine. There is the Drift Racer muscle car. They came down a lot in price. Remember when I got them, they were probably a lot higher in price, and they were made a lot better back then. But I had taken apart my car. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a car called, see if I can find it here. It was called Speak and Say It Vic, I think was the name of it. If they still have that, it was Say It Vic battery control car. I don't know if they still have it. No, I can't seem to find. So you would tell Vic, to like go forward, go backward, and all these cool things. So childhood memories have a real, let's say, portal into what we like in life. And if we can harness that, then there is no limit to what we can accomplish in our life. I mean, I think that is really, really cool. So again, you can definitely harness those memories. People say, well, gee, I don't want to go back to my childhood. Well, you should, because your childhood has gotten you to know what you like. And maybe I don't know, maybe I like to play with remote control cars. I love to play electronics. I love to take apart things. I love to build things. And so I do that now, and I do a lot more. But if I didn't really go back to this, maybe I wouldn't be where I am. And I have to give credit to a really amazing teacher. She's a physics teacher. She was a chemistry teacher. Hopefully she's still alive. Her name is Mrs. Burns, and she was my chemistry and physics teacher. And she was amazing. And she was the one that taught me that I needed to not do what's easy, but do what is hard. So what do I mean by that? So when I was in high school, I went to a private parochial Catholic high school and also a private parochial grammar school. So when I went to school, and they were teaching basic, beginners all-purpose symbolic instructional code, which has been around for many, many years. Well, she knew that I knew this subject like too well, and she thought that it would be a bad thing for me to be in a class and just ace it. I was happy doing that, but she said that wouldn't be good. That would be doing a disservice to myself. And so she decided she was going to talk to the principal about getting me into another class. Meanwhile, everybody else was taking basic, and I was going to be enrolled in some college class with her and taking that in silent study. So instead of me going to computer basic class, I basically would go to silent study when everybody else went to basic. And when they went to silent study, I would go meet with her, and we would have lessons, and I learned Pascal. And so you're probably wondering, well, what does Pascal stand for in programming? Well, Pascal, it's a language, it's procedural programming. It was designed by Nicholas Wirth as a small, efficient language intended to encourage good programming practices using structured programming and data structuring. It was named after the French mathematician and philosopher and physicist Blaise Pascal. And Pascal was developed on the pattern of ALGOL 60 language, and it was really pretty cool. And so when I first started, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really don't want to learn this, but I'm glad I did, because when I got to college and there were other languages like C and things like that, and then it was just, now that I knew this language, it was really cool, because guess what? When I got into college, what did we have to do? Pascal. I already knew Pascal. And then, we got into C and other stuff, and it was really good that I had that foundation. And so I've learned that you have to do sometimes what's a little bit difficult or not easy. And so because I went toward my desires of what I enjoyed, which was technology, and I was going to go away from it because I figured, oh, gee, it's so easy, I don't want to do that. But I was able to challenge myself in that field, which I think was pretty cool. So another thing you can do when you want to have the passion pulse is to lose track of time. Now, what do I mean by that? So whenever you're doing something and you're actually losing track of time, maybe you found yourself so engrossed in activity that hours fly by without you even noticing. And this clearly proves that your passion is speaking. Knowing your identity in these moments and harnessing their power. Have you ever been with a friend? Maybe you hung out and maybe you either you were building stuff, or you were playing with Legos, or you were building sandcastles, or whatever it was. The time just sort of flew. And I remember I had those moments too. I remember going to a friend of mine's house. It wasn't too far. It was actually only a street or two away. And he had this huge erector set. Now, I loved erector sets. And he had a real huge one. I mean, the one that was like, he had like a whole room. I was like, oh my gosh. And I think we started playing with it around, I don't know, maybe 2 o'clock. And by 4 p.m., 5 p.m., my mom was picking me up. And I'm like, wow, it was only like I was here 20 minutes. And it really made an impact on me, because I loved playing with the erector set. I loved putting things together. And my friend liked it too, but I had more of a passion to wanting to do it. And he did it because he had to, and not because he wanted to. I think that's the big difference in life, is that if we do something because we have to do it, we're going to hate it, and we're going to hate our life. So make sure that you figure out what is it that you enjoy in life, not what other people tell you to enjoy, but the things that you need to enjoy yourself. All right, the last point I want to talk about is to start small and keep it fun. Well, John, that seems pretty obvious. Well, it is, but it isn't. So passion doesn't have to be that scary. Understanding that got some in my eye there. Sorry about that, guys. And how to take these first steps. So how do you take your steps? So when you know that you like to do something, I think that's really cool. Then you can start to creatively play. And I always said, if you creatively play, you'll never work a day in your life, right? Your concept of starting small, like you building something, like maybe, I remember working with my very first, I think it was my very first Lego motor kit. I'm trying to remember now what it was. It was actually it wasn't a tank or anything like that. It was more like a small little device. And now they have like 7-piece power function sets and bigger sets and things like that. But you basically have these motor kits that you can build into your Lego creations, which I think is really cool. Like there's things like, a 330-piece building kit, 12-in-1. They call them STEM toys, motors for kids, do-it-yourself erector set. It's pretty amazing. And they're not that expensive. They're like $45, $50. I remember something else that I used to love to play with. It's probably not popular anymore. How many of you guys remember Capsella? Well, Capsella, I don't know if it's even around anymore. Capsella Robotics, if I remember correctly, is what it was called. So Capsella it's actually called, I think it was, well, they used to call it Capsella. So Capsella, it was a construction toy consisting of gears and motors in these plastic spheres. And they could be connected to form various static or dynamic toys that could be used in land or water. And capsules typically have 6 hollow octagonal connectors protruding, where octagonal sleeves piece and bridge the 2 capsules together, which is what you needed. They called it the Capsella Motorized Construction Kit. And I don't think I don't think they sell them anymore. They had the Capsella 1000 robotics, and this really, I think I had the one with this. It was the 100 land and water action projects, and it was really pretty cool because you put all these things together. You'd have one that would actually be a pump, another one that would be. It was amazing. I don't think that you can still get Capsella anymore. I mean, if you tried to buy it, can you buy Capsella kits anymore? I would probably tell you the answer is going to be no. I don't know if Amazon has it. So if I look here on Amazon to see if they have anything, so it doesn't look like they really have anything, that really resembles that. I see some toys, but they're not really Capsella. They're other types of toys. So I think Capsella was an error, and I think the error kind of ended. So now they went into things like, Elgo R3 smart robots and things like that. So they've changed, how they've evolved. And, when you think about, they call, things like motor machines, you have electronic robotics, but you don't have Capsella anymore. You have different things. Now they have things like kids labs and maker blocks and M-bots and things like that. But I got to tell you, Capsella construction kits were pretty amazing. How about even, erector sets? Well, erector sets are still around. They're not like they used to be. So you can basically get, what they call a 25-in-1 motorized building set where you can, basically build your crane. You can put all the things together, and there's all these different pieces, so you can build like all these cool things. So when you start to play with these things, right, and figure how they work, and you start to screw things together and you build stuff, it starts to get the mind going. And when the mind gets going, you start to then believe in possibilities. Okay. You start to believe in possibilities. And I think that is an absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing thing. And it looks like we might have lost some video feed here, but don't fear, you can still hear the audio. I know pretty well. So unfortunately, those things do happen. And it looks like StreamYard is having some technical difficulties right now. But I do want to let you know that it's important to live and feel your passion. That is so very, very key, ladies and gentlemen.